Welcome to Atomic Cricket Podcast. I'm Chirunandan Srinath. I'm joined with Maitreya, and our special guest is joining us, Saba Karim, former Indian Wicket Keeper. And this is our 50th episode, Golden Jubilee, and half century in cricketing terms. And it's pleasure to have you, sir, on our 50th episode. 7 months ago, we started this podcast, little podcast, and we grew from that little episodes that we did to getting you as a guest on our 50th episode. So, all right, Saba Karim sir, he has played over 120 first class games, 7,310 runs, 22 hundreds, 33 50s, 56 average, and has played 34 one day internationals and one test. And his career was stopped after an eye injury, but you didn't think it so like that, sir. You came back as a TV commentator, then you came back and played an administrator at BCCI, and then you played various roles as a selector. And like your commitment to cricket is absolutely, we need to appreciate your contributions to cricket. So, sir, welcome to Atomic Cricket Podcast. Hope you're staying safe.
Yes, I'm safe, and thank you so much for your concern. Thanks for this invitation. Many congratulations to all of you on completing your 50th episode. I wish many more, episodes in your career. I hope that all of you continue to grow in your chosen field. These are very tough times all of us are going through. But I hope that with the kind of involvement which I have seen from youngsters like you, I'm sure we'll be able to overcome this challenge also. And cricket, as I said, is such a popular sport in India because the support we receive from youngsters like you, plus so many other cricket fans, not only in India but also across the world. And that is one reason why cricket is growing in popularity, not only in the so-called big cricketing nations, but also in emerging countries where they do have cricket teams that they're looking for some more support from the central government. But I'm sure in years to come, all that will happen. And truly, in 10 to 15 years' time, cricket will become a global sport, just like football. So, yeah, very happy to be here and good to catch up with all of you, albeit virtually.
So, sir, let's talk about your first class career. So, you debuted in first class for Bihar, and at the age of 15, if I'm not wrong. So, you are that little, very young guy at that time. Now we are young, but when you debuted, you were 15 years. So, you were that young guy, you played cricket, and like, how did you feel to play cricket, perhaps with people older than you? Like, how treated you, and like, how much of their experience that they gave to you that you became a cricketer?
I was, I think, as young as you were when I made my debut for Bihar in the Ranji Trophy. But before that, I had played under 19 for India. The under 19 Indian side had traveled to West Indies to play, a series of matches, and that gave me a lot of experience. It also instilled in me a lot of confidence, and it allowed me to work on my talent and on my abilities. And that is how, when I came back from West Indies, the same season, I made my debut for Bihar in the Ranji Trophy. It was a very good experience, enriching experience. And while playing, while watching all my seniors in action, I learned a lot. And I was a pampered kid in the team, being such a the youngest member in the side. I received a lot of attention, a lot of affection from everybody. And all my colleagues were willing to help me overcome those nerves at the initial stages of the game. But eventually, after a while, I did settle down, and I managed to do quite well in my debut game. And then that's how my first class career started. Yes, it was fun. I think the reason why one started to play at such an early age because of the enjoyment one derived from this game. And I think that's what I try and convey to all the youngsters who are interested in this wonderful sport. That first and foremost, you have to enjoy the game. Only then you will be willing to learn. And I think that is true in all facets of your chosen path.
And so, sir, you took up cricket at a very young age, at the age of 15. So, who is the one that inspired you? So, from the very young age, you took up cricket. So, was it a family member who encouraged you, or was it some players you got motivated seeing them playing and you thought you could become a cricketer? So, who inspired you at such a young age to take up the game, and how was the journey after taking up? So, who inspired you?
I come from a emerging town, Patna, which happens to be the capital of Bihar. And I was fortunate and blessed that my father really pushed me to play this game. I'm the youngest in my family. I had two elder brothers, and both of them they were very keen on this sport. So I would follow them to the nearby grounds, and that is how I got into this game. But it was actually my dad who really worked very hard so that I become serious about the game. He is the one who put me in the right kind of school where they had a cricketing environment. They had a school team, and those days we used to have number of inter-school tournaments. So that is how my game started to grow. Then I was enrolled in a local cricket academy. We had a wonderful, coach. Although the facilities were not very good, we had one matting wicket. We had about 150 kids, but everybody would assemble, each day in the afternoon after school to practice. We had a very strong, we had a good lot of encouragement. But my inspiration, or the one who really helped me take up this game seriously, was my father. And I got a lot of support from my coaches, from my colleagues, as well as my school in Patna. So that is how my journey started. And eventually, when you start to play at some level of cricket and you start to gain some recognition, you start to do well. Eventually you end up understanding your own game. Then you have to work hard if you want to fulfill your ambition. And I think within 1 or 2 years of my starting on this journey, I realized that I do have the right kind of talent and the skill to take it seriously. And that's why when I really started to work hard and eventually made my mark at that level.
So, sir, you played for Bihar, and at the time, like Bihar wasn't like a major cricketing state, or like many players didn't come out from Bihar. So, like, how difficult was it for you, like, to come in to the Indian team, to come and play for India A, so under 19, everything?
Yeah, well, you see, although I came from Bihar, junior cricket was very well organized by BCCI. That's the body that runs cricket in India. And so I started to play grade cricket, which is under 15. Those days we used to have interstate under 15 tournament, where we would play against each other in the East zone, and then if you do well, then then you get picked for the East zone that would play against different zones. So that is how the under 15 tournament was conducted by BCCI. So that's how I started. So first I played the under 15 state cricket for my state, which is Bihar. Then I graduated to play under 9 cricket, and that is when things started to look good for me. And Bihar didn't have a strong say at that point of time in cricket in India. But playing for Bihar gave me a lot of encouragement. And even in my team, we had some very good players from whom I learned a lot. But that's how the process starts. So once you start to play for your state, if you do well for your state, then you get to play for your zone. And then if you do well for your zone, that's when you get picked for the national team. The same thing happened for me from the under-19 level. Then I graduated to first-class cricket. And that is how I managed to get into the senior cricket also, including the national team.
So we some few days back we interviewed W.V. Raman and we asked him about India Pakistan rivalry. So he didn't play actually any match against Pakistan. So we heard how about the rivalry, but tell us some interesting stories or some incidents from this India Pakistan rivalry. It still goes on. It goes in a lot of enthusiasm. People around the globe come and sit down, and like there are millions of people wanting to watch India Pakistan play a cricket match. So it's played with a lot of enthusiasm. So if you have some incidents, experiences, share it here.
Yeah, we hardly play against Pakistan these days. But I think during my tenure with the Indian team, we did manage to play a number of games against Pakistan. So I do have some exciting memories about playing against Pakistan in Pakistan. That's also the time when we traveled to Pakistan to play a 3 ODI series. But remember one incident that took place in Toronto. I think it was 1997 when we played against Pakistan in Toronto. And there was this famous incident of Inzamam the game was going on, and India was batting, and Inzamam was fielding in the slips. And there were some people on the ground, mostly Indian and Pakistani immigrants who would travel from different parts of Canada to come and watch the game. And there were some of these cricket fans who had traveled all the way from US to watch the match. So generally, Inzamam would field in the slips. He would be in first or second slip. And we realized there was one Indian cricket fan from the stands who kept shouting at Inzamam and would call him in such a funny way, call him Aloo, Aloo, Aloo and stuff like that. So one could figure out although India was batting, all of us sitting in the pavilion. And so we noticed that after a couple of overs, Inzamam changed his fielding position and went to field either at final leg or third man because he wanted to get close to the cricket fan who was shouting at him from the stands. And then I think after the drinks interval, we noticed that one of the substitute Pakistani player, he was carrying a bat to Inzamam who was fielding at third man to the other end. And then as soon as the drinks interval got over, suddenly we saw Inzamam he rushed into the stands. He climbed up the chairs there and was almost about to hit the cricket fan who was shouting at him. And then the police intervened, the cricket officials intervened, and that is how the matter was settled. In fact, because he happened to be an Indian cricket fan, and the Indian cricketers, some of us had to mediate on behalf of the Indian cricket fans so that case would not be lodged against him. So it was such a hilarious incident. Inzamam, otherwise such a wonderful person, very calm in his approach, in his demeanor, and also the way he used to play. It was so strange and so surprising to see him behave in that manner. But obviously, I think the cricket fan riled him so much that he lost his cool and almost went after that cricket fan. So yeah, this is one of those strange incidents which we saw, which we experienced. Another one was, I think we were playing in Pakistan in a one-day game at Karachi. So Pakistan were batting first, and they managed to score about 240 odd or 250 odd in about 45, 46 over. And a couple of cricket fans in the stadium, they started to throw stones at the outfielders. So Vinod Kamli, I think, was fielding at final leg. Somebody else was fielding at third man. So they came and they complained to the umpires, and then they went and complained to the match referee, and the game was halted. And and when the game resumed, India was asked to bat and score those runs. Eventually, we did manage to score those runs, but those were difficult days because after a long time, India had traveled to Pakistan to play an ODI series. The response we received was fabulous. Hospitality was excellent. We really enjoyed the tour, but such a stray incident at times really masked the environment of the game. But eventually, good fun. We really had a wonderful time in Pakistan and travel in 1997, 98, I think.
So, sir, moving on, let's see some questions from our listeners. So, here's a question from Shanmuka. He was a former co-host of this podcast. So, he asks that in the field setting or nowadays the DRS. So, who takes those decisions? So, is it the wicket keeper or is it the captain? So, or is it team whole deciding? So who takes those decisions? How are they taken? So he asked us to ask her, so how are the decisions taken there in the field?
I think generally it is the bowler and the wicket keeper, because wicket keeper is in a very strong position or in a very good position to decide whether DRS should be taken or not. But if the captain is close by, fielding in the infield, in the slips or or inside 30-yard circle, then the captain also comes in. But I think it is always advisable to seek the wicket keeper's inputs on this because he happens to be in the right place at the right time. I think he's the best judge because at times even the bowlers get very excited. They feel whenever they appeal, the umpire should give out the batsman, but it doesn't happen like that. So I think it's good to have the keeper around to help them in taking this decision.
So, sir, this question is from myself. Like I wanted to ask you on this. So you chose wicket keeping at 15 years. I don't know if I'm right, but you chose wicket keeping at 15 years. So you went on through the years. So as you went on through the years, did you ever look back and say, that was the right choice, or like, do you wanted to play as a pure batsman or some all-rounder, because you bowled some balls also in first class games? So like, did you think ever, after when you went through the years?
Yeah, a number of times, because I started my career as a pure batsman, and I would bat very high up in the order at number 3 for my school team, even for my district side. And keeping was secondary to me. I hardly took keeping seriously. But as I mentioned earlier in my chat with all of you, it's when I went to play for under 19, the Indian side, that's when I realized that if I have to make a mark in cricket, if I have to achieve the ambition of playing for my nation, then I think I need to be multidimensional. And that is when I started to work very hard on my wicket keeping. And wicket keeping, along with your batting, it gives you more confidence to add value to your side, and you become an all-rounder. So at times, it is bound to happen that you don't do well as a batsman. So you also have the opportunity of performing well behind the stumps and still contributing to your team's cause. But I did have such doubts at times that I should have pursued as a batsman. Wicket keeping at times becomes very tough, more so in Indian conditions. So you bat, suppose you keep wickets for about a day and a half, and then and after that you have to go into bat. It does not come very easy. But keeping a wicket keeper batsman, being a wicket keeper batsman also gives you that kind of liberty where you are termed as an all-rounder, and gives you many more opportunities to do well for your side.
Sir, talking about wicket keepers, like there are a lot of talkative wicket keepers nowadays. You see Rishabh Pant. You also happen to be a member of Delhi Capitals. So Rishabh Pant, he keeps saying, come on, Ashwin," and like he talks too much behind the stumps. And there is even Tim Payne who talks behind the stumps. Like there are talkative wicket keepers. Like during your times, who were those talkative wicket keepers, and were you a talkative wicket keeper?
There were a number of talkative wicket keepers during my time. Kiran More was very talkative. Chandrakant Pandit was another one behind the stumps who was extremely notorious, and he would talk a lot in trying to upset the batsman. I was not a very talkative keeper. I would encourage my bowlers, I would encourage my fielders, but I would hardly sledge. But these days things have changed. And I think, bowlers value the support they receive from the wicketkeeper. That happened in my case also. They need suggestions, they need advice, they need more input from the wicketkeepers. And the wicketkeeper is ideally positioned to assist the bowlers in strategizing. And I think that is why you find so many keepers constantly, talking to the bowlers, talking to the full fielders, talking to the captains. They're also in the right position to adjust the field. So they are the central figure, for a team, more so when you're fielding. So that is why I think wicketkeeper's position becomes so crucial for a team. So you need keepers who remain focused on the game, but also you need someone who can constantly encourage the bowlers. Yeah, but it's good to see Rishabh Pant keep always chatting to the bowlers and encouraging his bowlers, as well as upsetting the rhythm of the opposition.
So, sir, the next question comes from another listener, Prem Ganesh. So he asks, who were the best wicket keepers of your era when you played cricket? Who were the best wicket keepers at that time?
I learned my wicket keeping by Alan Knott on wicket keeping, because during my growing up days in Patna, we didn't have a wicket keeping coach. We had normal coaches who would just teach us the basics of wicket keeping, but I learned the so-called intricacies, the different nuances of wicket keeping while going through the book written by Alan Knott on wicket keeping. So he remained, my first and foremost wicket keeping coach, so to speak. But Mr. Kirmani was around, so we grew up watching him keep wickets. And then when I made my international career, then I saw Ian Healy from close quarters on television. We did play some first-class matches against Australia when Ian Healy was the wicketkeeper, and I rated Ian Healy very high. He brought in a different kind of dimension to international wicket keeping. Technically, he was so sound. He was equally good to pace bowlers as well as spinners. And there were some great qualities which I learned from him while watching him keep wickets. So, yeah.
So, sir, now we'll talk about your eye injury that you had. So, for us, so when we think of diving to take a catch, we feel like we'll be hurt or we'll be very scared. And so you got an injury, and that injury, it didn't allow you to push yourself. It limited your service to cricket as a player. It limited your abilities for some time. You had so much time to recover. Then again, you had to get back fit. So much things happened, and then you had to wait for a long time to get a call. So that whole period, talk about that, getting an injury and then waiting for a call, coming back, and then for a call back. So it's very painful and heartbreaking. So how was those movements, and who gave you strength during those period, and how you were able to make a comeback? So talk about that.
Yeah, for a professional cricketer, the worst thing that can happen is an injury that will hamper your progress in that particular sport. I think, unfortunately, that's what happened. It happened in 2000 when I was keeping wickets for India in an Asia Cup game in Dhaka. I got hit on my right eye. So I was rushed to the hospital in Bangladesh. Then overnight, I came back to India. And then I went to Shankar Nethralaya in Chennai. I was there in the hospital for about a month. They worked very hard, the doctors there, to improve my eyesight. So I had to undergo a surgery from my eye, which is a glaucoma surgery, because my eye pressure had really gone up. And when I got hit, I had zero vision in my right eye, on my injured eye. But gradually, while I was recuperating, my eyesight started to progress. It became better. So that is how I thought I could come back and play this game again. And I did manage to come back and play a test match for India, same year in November. But by then, I also realized that due to the impact on my eye, I had started to lose my vision. Gradually, it has started to deteriorate, and that's when I realized that I possibly cannot play international cricket. So I took another 3-4 months time. I played some first-class matches. I wasn't feeling very comfortable. Was scared at times because I had double vision. Was not able to adjust to the pace or the bounce of the wicket, and I felt that I need to be very careful because due to this problem of not able to sight the ball properly, I may get hit on some other parts of my body also. I may get hit on my good eye, which is the left eye. So why take that risk? That is when I decided to quit cricket and got into some other career. But yes, those are traumatic times. You need your support from your family and your friends, your colleagues, and all of them were there for me. I was employed with Tata Steel at that point of time. They came in very handy. They offered me a lot of support. But you have to take it in your stride. And I think this is what life teaches you. It's all about absorbing the challenges that comes across you and trying to get out from there in a very positive manner.
So, sir, the next question is also from our listener Prem Ganesh. So, he asks that you played one test after your comeback, after the injury, that comeback you played one test. So, how difficult it was those 5 days you had to wicket keep continuously, and it was a comeback match after the injury. So, how difficult was it? And did you think of playing more matches after that? Did you think it would get better by the days? But so, how it was at that time?
Well, when I was picked for the test match, I was quite confident that I'll do well behind the stumps, and I can keep wickets at that level despite my injury. But as the game progressed, I realized that it was not going to be so easy because keeping wickets to spinners, we had Srinath, we had Ajit Agarkar, we had Sahir Khan, and all three of them were bowling 140 kilometers per hour, something like that. So keeping wickets to express delivery is not very easy. I got hit a couple of times on my chest. And by then I also realized that my eyesight was not improving. And I had to take a very tough call. And I felt that let me go back and play some first-class cricket. If I feel that I'm getting used to that kind of vision, or if my vision improves, then I'll try and stake a comeback again to the national side. But 3-4 months down the line, after I made my debut in November, I realized that my eyesight was not improving. So it was difficult. That test match wasn't very easy. It was again played in the same ground where I had got hit. So that experience itself was not very easy to accept. But I've also felt that this is the last opportunity I'll get to play for my country. And my ambition was to play Test cricket for India. So when I got this opportunity, I thought, let me try and give it a shot. If I do well, if my eyesight improve, I can always continue. But as I mentioned earlier, that did not happen.
A kind request to all our listeners. You should join us on Discord. You will be able to chat with us about cricket and our podcast. You can share memes, videos, stats, and more. The first 25 members to join our server will get a free copy of our upcoming magazine. So hurry up. And also you should join us on buymeacoffee.com/atombiccrickpod or click the link in the description below. Support our show or click on any membership. You will get exclusive articles, exclusive videos, early access to all our interviews, and a free copy of our magazine for an year. Okay, let's get back.
You as cricketers, you travel around the world, and you went to South Africa, then you went to Pakistan, England. So cricketers travel around the globe. So what challenges, climate, the food, and the lifestyle in all other countries? So like, how was the challenge?
I think it's good fun traveling abroad with the team. There is so much to learn. One sees different kind of culture. The lifestyle is so different, and it's good to meet people from different cultures and to exchange ideas, to exchange to talk about your experience from your own country with people from different countries. And I think all that is very useful for the growth of a player. I think that is why sport offers an individual great opportunity to learn from the world. And in terms of cricket, I think those days were difficult to adapt to the conditions because wickets are so different. There's extra bounce, more movement of the surface, so it wasn't very easy. So it took us some time to understand the vagaries of different wickets that we played on. But things have changed now. I think most of the players who play for Team India now, they have already traveled with the India A side. Some of them have traveled with the under 19 side. They played in similar conditions on similar grounds. So it's easy for them to adapt to these conditions. In our days, there are very few overseas tours. So so the first tour you would go abroad was with Team India. So it was not so easy. But yes, I think it is a great experience going through all that, and there is so much to learn.
So next question comes from Mukund. So he asked your favorite moment as a player, like your top knocks or some experiences as a player.
I think my most important crucial knock was the one against Pakistan in Pakistan in Karachi. So we're chasing about 260, 270, and I managed to contribute. I got about 30 odd runs in a very critical phase when wickets were falling, and me and Robin Singh had a very decent partnership, and we did manage to win the game for our country. So I think that kind of a healthy contribution, fills you with so much of pride. More so if you're playing against Pakistan in alien conditions in their country. So all that really helped me grow as a cricketer. But yeah, while playing for India, that was a wonderful experience for me.
So we'll move on, and you became a national selector in 2012. So after your cricketing player zone finished, so you came as a TV commentator. Then you came into national selector for East Zone in 2012. So can I ask you how the selection processes are done? How much of it are taken from stats, some data? How are they taken?
So, data is available. It depends on the selectors, the way you take it. But selecting the Indian team is quite an arduous work. So we would travel to watch a lot of these BCCI domestic matches. So there are a number of matches that is conducted by BCCI each season. So we have the Ranji Trophy, which is a 4-day tournament, 4-day matches. Plus, you have the 1-day tournament, which is the Vijay Hazare. Then you have the T20 matches, which is called the Syed Mushtaq Ali, and all the states play against each other. So me and my colleague would travel to different places where all these matches are being conducted, watch all the matches, and then come up with our own inputs, with our own feedback about particular players. Have regular interaction with Team Indian, with Team India team management, which is the captain and the coach. Look at various requirements for Team India, and then accordingly, pick players from the domestic level whom we felt have done very well over the past couple of seasons, and whom we felt that they can do well at the international level. Give them more exposure while sending them on India A tours. Get them to play in different conditions just to check their abilities, just to see their credentials, and then eventually pick them for the national team. So I think it is a long drawn process, but extremely challenging, very rewarding. When you see the players whom you have chosen, they go on to play well for your country and win matches for your country. So I think it is a very transparent kind of a process, but in the end, it depends on the way a selector perceives a player. So that's how we went about our role as selectors.
So, sir, you played various roles in cricket, contributing to the cricket field. So, as a player, then as a commentator, then a selector, then an administrator at the BCCI. So, looking at all of the roles that you have played, looking back, so how do you feel about the journey in this cricket field? So, how do you feel about it, looking back at it after so many years, contributing from the age of 15, and now you're all in your 50s? So, how do you feel looking back at the journey?
All of you who are growing up now, you must have had some kind of ambition in your mind. You want to become, a professional, a doctor, or an engineer, or a sports star, or a musician. There are so many career options that is available to you. It depends on your skill, depends on your ambition, it depends on your willingness and your perseverance to work hard. So I was blessed that my ambition was to play for my country. And my passion was to do well in this sport. So that way I'm very fortunate and blessed that after my cricket playing days were over, I managed to forge a career that is related to cricket. So as soon as my first class in my international cricket career was over, I got into commentary. I enjoyed doing my TV commentary, broadcasting. I do some work as a cricket expert for different news channels, podcasts, different various digital platforms. Plus, I got this opportunity to work as a selector for BCCI, for Team India. And then I also managed to have a stint with BCCI as a general manager cricket operations. It's been an entertaining journey. And I'm so glad and so happy. And I thank God all the time that, I was given this opportunity to work in a field where that's where my passion lies. So I've been very blessed that way. So I feel very fortunate to have gone through this kind of a journey.
So, sir, in the 2021 season of IPL, you were with the Delhi Capitals as a head of the talent search. So, what is exactly your role in the Delhi Capitals team, and what contributions did you make to the Delhi Capitals? And now, since for Delhi Capitals, Shreyas Iyer had got an injury and isn't playing, so Rishabh Pant came in as a captain. So, how do you feel about Rishabh Pant's captaincy and its differences with Shreyas Iyer's captaincy, and what are the benefits and the losses? So, everything as a Delhi Capital. So, what is your role there, and how do you feel about the new changes that came into the team?
Delhi Capital is a very interesting phase. They've done very well over the past 2 seasons. They do a lot of hard work, a lot of homework before the season starts. And I came in as head of the talent scout. So my work profile is to search for upcoming talent, prepare them for IPL matches, turn them into finished products so they're able to do well for Delhi Capitals. In the end, who should get into the 11, who should be part of the 25 or part of the 15 or part of the squad, that depends on the coaching staff. That includes Ricky Ponting, they have James Hope as a bowling coach, they have Praveen Amre, and they have Mohammad Kaif, and now they've also added Ajay Ratra. So my work is to put forth my ideas, testimonials of the players whom I feel are talented and have the potential to do well in T20 games for Delhi Capitals. So I have recently started on this venture. It was good to interact with a lot of cricketers and the coaching staff of Delhi Capitals. I spent some time with the Delhi Capitals side. Now with the next season, the big mega auction is coming up. So that's where all of us need to put our heads together in trying to find the right kind of balance to the side. I think it's equally important to have a constant kind of communication with the coaching staff to understand the kind of side one wants to build for the IPL journey coming up. Talking about Rishabh Pant and Shreyas Iyer, both of them are different individuals. Shreyas Iyer has a different perspective towards captaincy. Rishabh Pant on his own brings in so much of energy. He has the experience of playing international cricket. And the way he leads the side is quite similar to the way he plays the game. He enjoys the sport. He really loves to contribute as a wicket keeper, as a batsman. And now, since he's become the captain of Delhi Capitals, that has been his endeavor. So it's good to see these youngsters, grow into some great match winners, not only for Delhi Capitals but also for the national side. So there's a lot of work to be done. More so, as I said, with the mega auction coming up for next season. But before that, 14, hopefully that should start in September in the UAE. Delhi Capital is in a very strong position. We have won so many games, so we are in kind of a winning streak. So we hope to continue.
So, sir, and in this IPL, many have observed that Avesh Khan, as a bowler, he bowled really well, and many people have seen the talent in him and recognized it. So, what do you feel about Avesh Khan, and what role did you play in bringing him up to the team? And so, talk about Avesh Khan, the player he is, and how he bowls and how he can come to the national side. So, talk about how Avesh Khan is the player for Delhi Capitals, and can he come to the Indian team as a future player? So, talk about his journey.
Well, Delhi Capitals are tracking him. He's been a successful pace bowler for Madhya Pradesh in the domestic circuit. So Delhi Capitals were going through his performance of the past 2-3 seasons. He was part of the Delhi Capitals as a net bowler, and then he got into the Delhi Capitals team. And last year, when the IPL game was taking place in UAE, that was kind of a breakthrough season for him. That's when he got the opportunity for Delhi Capitals, and he did very well. It is good that this year also he has continued in the same form. The Delhi Capitals team management has backed him, and he has emerged as one of the most successful IPL bowler. And it's good to see him progress in white ball cricket. One has seen him do very well in red ball cricket. So I'm sure that very soon he will get to play for India in all these three formats. He's a hard-working pace bowler, has a lot of intensity. He's a thinking bowler. He goes through all the data of the batsman and prepares accordingly. So there are some very good indications that Avesh Khan will become a strong for India in years to come.
We don't want to miss out this one, sir. The Cred ad, Venkabai. So it's funny, trending. Like, let's ask you about that Cred ad. So, like, it portrayed different perspective of cricketers. It was like awesome. I mean, exciting, and like it showed a different perspective of cricketers. Like, how do you felt about that ad? Like, you kept saying, they kept saying, "Don't forget us," but we never forgot you. But like, how was the ad, and like shooting it? How was it? How many retakes did it take? Like, your experience in that ad.
It was fun shooting for this. We took almost a day to shoot for this ad. But the entire credit goes to the team who conceived this. I think they came up with these original lyrics. I think it was they wanted to portray cricketers like us as a boy band, which is the Backstreet Boys. So the entire wardrobe was prepared by them, and we had to act in a certain manner. The lyrics and the music was wonderful. Yeah, it is good to catch up with my former colleagues with whom we have played a lot of cricket, played with and against each other at the domestic level. So it's good to interact. But creditable the way the entire team thought of this kind of an ad, and I'm glad that it became quite popular with the fans. So it's good to bring in and revive some old memories. And all those who have not watched us play, or maybe have just heard from their parents or from their elders about cricket in those in 90s and early 2000. For them, it was a good reminder. Yeah, we really enjoyed shooting for this ad.
Okay. The next question is from Shanmugai and Madhav, two of our podcast listeners. So the same question is asked by two people. They asked, is Test cricket being destroyed by T20 cricket? So in that ad itself, there was some little line saying, "Don't forget us because of T20 cricket." So, but I thought I'll bring it after this ad. So this question has been asked, like, is Test cricket being destroyed by T20 cricket?
No, I think one has to cater to different demands of the market. If one has to globalize cricket, then I think one has to choose a format which has shorter duration. And I think that is why T20 is getting very popular mostly in. So it is a good platform, or it is a good format that can be taken to different parts of the world because of the limited time. Not only T20 but also T10 for that matter. So what is important for ICC and most of the cricket playing nations is that cricket is played on a worldwide stage, and for that to happen, you have to so the best way to take it forward is through T20 or through T10. So that is one part of the discussion. But having said that, I don't think that in most of the cricket playing nations, T20 is destroying Test cricket. There will always be connoisseurs of the game who would want to see multi-day cricket flourish. You may have some selected audience, but I think it will continue to thrive and grow. What many people don't realize is to become a very good T20 or a shorter format cricketer, you also need to understand the basics of the game. You also have to hone your skills, before you graduate to become a T20 specialist player or a T10 player. And for that to happen, you have to work very hard on your basic technique, and all that you learn while playing, multi-day cricket. So I really feel that one has to strike the right kind of balance, wherein you have Test cricket as well as the other formats also of the game.
And so, sir, the next big match for India is the World Test Championship Finals, India versus New Zealand. So, what do you think? Who will win the match, and who are the players you think will really hit big in the match or make a big contribution to the match? So, what do you think of the match? Talk us about that match.
It is a great opportunity for India to do well. This is the inaugural World Test Championship final. India has worked very hard the past 2 seasons to come up to this level to qualify. We had a great series in Australia. Then we came back and we beat England in a home series. So we are in a very strong position to win this inaugural title. So World Test Championship is akin to the World One Day Championship or the World T20 Championship, and I would rate it higher than those two formats. We have a very strong side. We have a great blend of experience and youngsters who are coming through. It is a settled side, and I think India has got enough experience of playing in England to overcome the challenges that is thrown on us by New Zealand. New Zealand is a very strong side. New Zealand is an underrated side, but they have immense faith in their own ability. So it is not going to be easy for India, but I do feel that India is in a better position to win this encounter against New Zealand because of the kind of experience we have. We are equally balanced in terms of our bowling, in terms of our batting. I expect some match-winning performances from the captain Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma as an opener, Cheteshwar Pujara, and then you go down the order from Rishabh Pant, and then among bowlers you have Jasprit Bumrah, you have Shami, you have Ishant Sharma, you have Jadeja, you have Ashwin. So we have a very strong combination, and I think this is the best possible team that we could possibly have to win the championship.
Sir, talking about the IPL of 2022, so the next season there's going to be a mega auction. So, do you think of uh, increasing the overseas slot to 5, or do you think it's better at 4? Because many feel that if you increase it to 5, it will make IPL more popular, and some are also telling that they can increase another team, make one more team or two more teams. So talk us about these two things. So what do you feel about them? What is your perspective?
So 2 teams already been decided. So from 2022, you'll have 2 more teams that will make it a 10-team IPL. So that in any case you will get more overseas players. You'll have more domestic players coming into the system. But I think the slot of 4 overseas players are perfectly fine. It has also given a lot of opportunities for our own domestic cricketers to do well. And this is the way you can always continue. I think 10-team format would be fine. There are many more domestic cricketers who are waiting in the wings and who want to play in the IPL. So with the inclusion of these 2 teams, such cricketers will get a platform to play. So I think a 10-team format would be fine from 2022 season.
So here's the last question, sir. So what advice would you give to wicket keepers these days, like a technique or some mindset, or like what advice would you give to wicket keepers?
First foremost, enjoy wicket keeping. It is such a great position because you're involved in the entire duration of the match. You can act as a leader for your team. There is so much more to offer as a wicket keeper. Work hard on your skill. Work hard on your technique. I think it's very important for a wicket keeper to be flexible, to be agile. So nutrition plays a very big role. On top of that, I think it's very important for the wicket keeper to work very hard on your batting skill. So do not neglect your batting and also your fielding. There may be a time where you may be required to play as a batsman. But so I think when you get into the team as a batsman, if you have your fielding skills also, I think that will help you to cement your place in the side. So I think a wicketkeeper is actually multidimensional. You have to be good in your keeping skills. You have to be good as a fielder, and you have to be equally good as a batsman.
Well, this will bring you to the end of today's episode with Saba Karim, sir. We loved listening to you, and thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you so much. Really enjoyed it. Have a great time, and wish all of you a lot of success in your chosen career. Bye-bye.
A kind request to all our listeners. You should join us on Discord. You will be able to chat with us about cricket and our podcast. You can share memes, videos, stats, and more. The first 25 members to join our server will get a free copy of our upcoming magazine. So hurry up. And also you should join us on buymeacoffee.com/atombiccrickpod or click the link in the description below. Support our show or click on any membership. You will get exclusive articles, exclusive videos, early access to all our interviews, and a free copy of our magazine for an year. Okay, let's get back.